Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to yet another Chair Shots to the Cranium interview. I am super pumped about my guest today, Johnny Morrison, a.k.a. Johnny Impact, a.k.a. Johnny Mundo. Very excited to have him as my guest on the show this week. Before I get into that, we will remind you, go follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. It's Chair, the number 2 Cranium, Chair 2 Cranium on Instagram and on Twitter. Also follow us on Facebook. You can also subscribe to listen to Chair Shots to the Cranium on all the major platforms: Spotify, Google, Apple, SoundCloud, and also on YouTube. So hit that little bell, get some reminders as to when we'll have new shows coming out. Just recently put out a Cranium correspondence on the latest happenings in professional wrestling. Check those out. Also do predictions for every pay-per-view. Myself and my daughter Addison, we've got a tally of wins and losses. See who's winning, see who's losing, find out who comes out on top on every pay-per-view. It's very exciting. You can also visit the website, chairshotstothecranium.com. Again, chairshotstothecranium.com. On there, you can buy your very own Chair Shots to the Cranium merch. You don't want to miss your opportunity to style in one of these awesome t-shirts around your town. So again, chairshotstothecranium.com. All right, without any hesitation, let's jump right into my interview with the one and only Johnny Impact. My guest on Chair Shots to the Cranium interviews is one of the most entertaining, exciting, and talented superstars in professional wrestling, television, and films. He's held titles such as the WWE Intercontinental Championship, the WWE Tag Team Championships, ECW World Championship, and most recently the Impact World Championship. He's also known for his tremendous success in Lucha Underground, and he's now part of the exciting roster at Universal Championship Wrestling. Fans, it is my honor and pleasure to speak with the one and only Johnny Impact, a.k.a. John Morrison. John, thank you so much for being a guest on our podcast today. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having me. As I was just saying when I called, over the last 5 minutes, it went from sunny in LA to now pouring rain, and I'm I'm in my car on the freeway sitting in traffic, which is I don't know, just interesting. I feel like everything that could have gone wrong with this podcast has so far. Well, as far as connecting and reception.
Yeah, I had some reception issues yesterday and had some computer problems just a little bit ago. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a challenging interview to say the least. But I really do appreciate your patience.
In the world of wrestling, though, people are no stranger to making chicken soup out of chicken shit.
No doubt.
I'm glad to talk about UCW and hey, who doesn't love talking about themselves, huh?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, you recently agreed to work with Universal Championship Wrestling. The owner, Ryan Gossett, has set up a wrestling company that prides itself on the tradition of wrestling business as well as the outstanding talent of today. Your wife, Taya Valkyrie, has also appeared on several UCW shows. So for what you've heard from her and from what you've heard from other people about the company, what are your thoughts on their style of professional wrestling?
I'm really excited to hit Greenville, South Carolina this Saturday, May 25th, like a bag of quarters in a strip club for UCW because of everything that I've heard about UCW. And I heard a lot of good things about Ronnie before I talked to him, and now him and I have talked quite a bit. Tagging with PJ Black this Saturday, and he put over Ronnie in the company. And Kevin Sullivan, who's a friend of mine, has said a lot of good things about this company too. It's on the rise. And of course, my most trusted source, my wife, Ty Valkyrie, has been at UCW, Universal Championship Wrestling, several times, and she loves it there. Now I'm stoked to make my debut this weekend.
Well, speaking of this weekend, we have a blockbuster show lined up. Again, it's May 25th at the Kroc Center in Greenville, South Carolina. You'll be teaming up, like you said earlier, with PJ Black as Worldwide Underground to take on former Universal Heavyweight Champion Johnny Swinger and former Impact Wrestling star Caleb Conley. What do you know about your opponents this Saturday, and what can fans in Greenville, South Carolina expect to see from this match?
I've always been impressed with Caleb Conley, but lately, seems like he's been doing CrossFit or hitting the gym. 8 days a week because he's ripped his dicks now, and he's a formidable opponent and a good guy. Looking forward to taking him to Slamtown. Johnny Swinger, I've known for a long time. Most people in the wrestling business at some point cross paths with one another. This is going to be the first time I've been in the ring with Johnny Swinger. I'm looking forward to it, but to be honest, I don't think he stands a chance. If we're just going by sheer names, I've got 10 times more Johnny names than Johnny Swinger. Whew. But I think another thing that I'm looking forward to this weekend is seeing a buddy of mine, Tony Atlas. And I think one thing that UCW has been doing that I know I've heard from even a couple of fans that they appreciate is this mix of old school wrestlers like Tony Atlas and current wrestlers like PJ Black, myself, Caleb, and this blend of old school and new school is, I think, the ticket right now, because there's so many different kinds of wrestling that when you have a show like Memorial Mayhem, like UCW is going to put on, the best way to do it is to have matches that fit different wrestling preferences. Old school, new school, comedy, high flying, hard hitting. I mean, I guess I'm kind of all of that, but you know what I mean.
I agree 100%. It's going to be a fantastic show. And UCW, and I've mentioned this before in past interviews with UCW superstars, the formula that Ron Gossett has put together with the help of so many people as well is unique, and it's entertaining, and it's something you got to check out. And bringing somebody in like yourself this weekend is making this show unbelievable. So whatever you have to do to get a ticket to it, you need to do it. It's this Saturday. You do not want to miss this unbelievable show. I'd like to travel back in time with you just a little bit if we could, and talk a little bit about your career and how it first started. Your big break came with Tough Enough, and then you went on to work in Ohio Valley Wrestling. How did the Tough Enough experience happen for you? How did this whole professional wrestling thing come about for you?
Well, I imagine, like most professional wrestlers, I was a big fan of wrestling growing up. I watched it every weekend. I went to see WWF shows at the time at the Great Western Forum in Los Angeles when they were in town, and it was one of the first things I really bonded with my circle of friends with when I was young. And we'd watch wrestling, and then we'd go out to each other's front or backyards and beat the crap out of each other and put each other in Boston crabs and camel clutches. Then I started wrestling in high school. I was wrestling at UC Davis. I switched and started doing film, and still I was rolling a lot, practicing jits and kicks and different kinds of martial arts. But I never really considered professional wrestling as a full-time career until I saw Tough Enough the first season. And when I did, it was kind of an epiphany for me, because I've been training all these skills that are almost tailor-made for professional wrestling. And professional wrestling was the thing that I liked the most as a kid, and really, to this day, is the thing that I follow. I'm not really a sports guy. My pastime, if I have time to watch something, it's professional wrestling. And when I saw Tough Enough 1, it was like the bell ringed in my head. Like a chair shut to the cranium. And
good reference.
I decided to submit, and I tried for Tough Enough 2, didn't make it. Tried again for Tough Enough 3, and ended up making it on the show. And I think by that time I'd already started training a little bit in Sacramento at a place called Supreme Pro Wrestling while I was still a student at UC Davis. And I felt very well prepared for Tough Enough Season 3, and it ended up working out for me. And it was like that show, Tough Enough, man, if I could sum it up in one word, I'd say opportunity. And I was really lucky to get the opportunity, but when I got it, I took it.
Of course, you went on to compete with Joey Mercury as Eminem, and you held several tag team titles together. You also had a great run as tag team champions with The Miz, as everyone knows. Held the IC title on 3 different occasions, and you're also the ECW champion, like I mentioned in my opening statement. Out of all of those experiences in WWE, what could you say you enjoyed the most?
Man, it's like I don't know. It's like comparing a hammer strength bench press to a hammer strength back machine. It's tough. because I loved them all for different reasons. When I was tagging with Joey, he was already at that time, even though we were the same age, a 10-year vet, and to this day has one of the best minds for wrestling of anyone in the business that I've come across. So it felt like I was tagging with someone who felt like a mentor to me, wrestling-wise, psychology-wise, and a best friend to me, which was awesome. I can't imagine a better way to start on the road with WWE. When I was tagging with Miz at the beginning, I feel like the situation was reversed. Not that Miz didn't have experience or that he hadn't been with the company long enough to know what he was doing, but I had several years of training ahead of Miz, and it felt like I was the mentor. And instead of a similar type personality, our energies were completely different. And I think I really enjoyed what that created. It was like two different personalities with the same goals. And it was fun to talk trash and stuff. And I feel like I came out of my shell, character, personality-wise, a lot, tagging with the Miz. So much so that I don't know if Miz and Maurice are expecting another child. And then Miz told me that if it's a boy, he was going to name the boy Nitro.
Nice. What an honor that would be, right?
I think he's probably going to name him Nitro. It's on the, I don't know, they're discussing. But you know how that stuff is.
Hey, you can't blame him.
Well, the wife probably has Maurice probably has the veto power. But I know that's really in his heart what Miz wants. A little baby Nitro.
You look back on that, Tom, is there anything you could say that you do differently?
Oh, man, that's so tough, like playing that what-if hindsight game.
Right.
Yeah, there's tons of things. There's like so many things that I would have done differently. I mean, anyone can say that about their life in general. But ultimately, like, I don't like playing that game too much because I don't think it really gets you anywhere. I think the better way to look at it is when you look back at your career, there's a lot of mistakes that, certainly that I made, that everyone makes. And instead of like thinking about, I wish this or I wish that, just think about what I did wrong that I would have done better, and use that for the future.
In the ring, backstage, anybody that really stood out that you really enjoyed working with?
That's another tricky question because, getting to WWE and keeping your spot on the road is so difficult that usually I feel like you got to be pretty damn good and pretty easy to get along with if you're going to be up there. Miz, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, CM Punk, Jericho, Edge. It's tough because all these people I learned so much from, and they're all so different that it's like hard to say. It's hard to compare and say which person I like the best because that changes. I usually feel like whoever I'm wrestling is my favorite. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm just kind of a fun-loving, optimistic person. I like getting goofy and being all in on whatever I'm doing because I usually figure that leads to the best results. But it's really how I feel.
Let's talk about your time with Lucha Underground. How has your time there changed you, not only as a person but as a professional wrestler?
I feel like when I started at Lucha Underground, I had a lot of old school WWE psychology, just kind of like that's all I kind of really knew and had a exposure to. I'd done plenty of wrestling outside WWE at that point in 2014, but being around all the luchadors from AAA and all the independent workers and working with Lucha Underground in an environment where you're cranking out a lot of TV fast, and there's not a lot of time for deliberation, and you're doing sometimes 5 episodes of wrestling in 2 days of taping in front of a live crowd. So it's almost like this immersion kind of opened my mind to a lot of different ideas about psychology, and really made me realize that for me personally, I've continued to level up my physical ability. And I didn't necessarily think that was possible 10 years ago. But if you break down movements and you think about it in terms of movements aren't just strictly about raw power and strength. There's a lot of balance, coordination, muscle memory, and a lot of mental aspect to mastering new moves, or sometimes I like to call it unlocking new movements. At Lucha Underground, I realized that's possible. It's possible for me now. It's probably going to be possible for me for the next 10, 20 years, as long as I stay at it. And I feel like the same is true for anybody.
Well, talk to me about the storytelling that Lucha Underground uses, and do you feel like more wrestling promotions should use this style, or at least have a more interesting style of storytelling?
One of the things that attracted me to Lucha Underground the most was their theory of storytelling, which was a kind of a blend of a gritty grindhouse action film with professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I really dug the way they told their stories, and they really had this creative vision that was a little bit far out there, further out than most promotion, probably further out than any other promotion that's ever had a TV product and been on the air for that long. Dragons and demons and people getting murdered and sons of owners. Like it's pretty intense and cool. As far as do I think other promotions should incorporate that? I mean, parts of it, yeah. I enjoyed the detail and the production value of the vignettes, but I feel like each wrestling promotion has its own specific identity, and I don't think most of them could or really even should try to pull off supernatural dragons and mystical medallions and gauntlets of power.
Right.
Because it just might not fit with the specific universe. The best thing to do is, according to your promotion's identity or what you want to put out there, I think that's the theme or the tone of your stories and characters. And production value wise, yeah, it'd be great if a wrestling promotion spent a lot more time on the backstage vignettes that stitch the show together. Sure.
Well, as I mentioned in my opening statement, you've experienced great success as an actor. Last year you appeared on Survivor. How was that experience, and how did that opportunity present itself for you?
Man, so I was contacted by casting for The Amazing Race. They were interested in a couple that were both professional wrestlers, and were very excited about having me and my, at the time, fiance, Taya Valkyrie, on the next season of The Amazing Race. Everything went really well with that for a week or two until they realized Taya was Canadian and didn't have an American passport, and they said because it's a travel show or something, that's a complete deal breaker. And maybe at some point in the future we could bring that up again and talk. But after that, I kind of offhandedly asked about Survivor because I'd always been a fan of that show too, and I know that I think it's the same. MGM does Survivor, Big Brother, and Amazing Race. It's all on CBS. And when I asked about Survivor, the guy from casting that I was talking to, Jesse, was kind of surprised and stoked, and said, "Yeah, if you're interested in that, absolutely. You still got to go through the casting process," and I did, and ended up getting on the show. And I don't know, that Survivor, we need like an hour to talk about everything that happened on there.
Yeah.
But the best way to sum it up is that it was very authentic. It was difficult. Like it's not bullshit. You're starving and freezing, and everybody's kind of walking on eggshells because you're nervous about who's going home. But you learn a lot about yourself and people, and it's a unique experience that I value highly. I had a great time out there, and I don't know if I'll ever play again, but season 37, David versus Goliath, I'm still friends with that cast. We have our big WhatsApp text group, and I feel like I got a lot of friends that are going to last a lifetime out of the experience with the cast, and I learned a lot about myself, so I think that's the best way to sum it up.
So what other irons do you have in the fire currently for your acting career, or can you talk about that?
Man, let's see. I got a ton of irons in the fire. I've been developing a lot and writing a lot. I'm working on finishing something currently that I shot last year. It's a horror short that ended up, it's going to be over 20 minutes, so not that short, that Ty and I wrote on our honeymoon. It's we should do a separate interview about it this fall. It's called The Iron Sheik Massacre. It's title's kind of self-explanatory, but let's talk more in I don't know, this fall about that.
That sounds great.
And, aside from that, I could tell you about all my weird projects forever, but sometimes I feel dumb talking about all the stuff that I've written and all the beat sheets and scripts and all the things that I have on my computer, because having something written doesn't make it real, and having all the options is important. I've learned from pitch meetings, because you never know when you're in the room pitching somebody what they might like or not like.
So where do you see your acting career in the near future? Is this something you want to make a full-time career out of? If we had to go into a DeLorean, Doc Brown was here with us, he transports us to the future, and we got to look at your acting career in the future, what would you want to see?
It's tricky, because I've learned a lot about like the business since I left WWE at the end of 2011. Specifically, I feel like the projects I have the most fun on are lower budget, not necessarily low budget, but lower budget things in which I can have a lot of creative control in. So if I could do exactly whatever I wanted in acting, it'd be nice to make maybe like a $2 to $5 million movie once or twice a year, and still stick to wrestling, because I haven't really done anything in my life that's as cool as professional wrestling. You tell this story, you go to battle with somebody in the ring, and everything that you're doing, that you're creating, happens live, and it's out there and it's done. Film and TV, the stories that you can tell can be more nuanced sometimes, and last longer, and not necessarily involve hitting each other with chair shots to the cranium.
Another great reference.
Hey man, I keep plugging.
Hey man, I appreciate that.
But it takes a long time, like when I did Boone, from writing it to sitting in a theater, the very first screening and watching it with people, that was, I don't know, 4.5 years, and then another almost 6 months to a year later was when the movie was done and it was out, and I was sitting in a screening with the finished product. So it's a cool process. It's just a lot of work to get your story told and get it out there.
All right, John, I'm going to conclude the interview with the cranium shot portion of the interview. I'm going to mention a name. This name could be from your past or present. You give me a one-word answer, several-word answer, whatever comes in mind, okay?
Okay.
Shelton Benjamin.
Black Gold.
CM Punk.
Evil Genius.
Jack Swagger.
The nicest badass I know.
Dolph Ziggler.
Always on, always funny, and always laughing at something. Even if his neck is messed up and he's got nerve damage or whatever, he's still laughing about it, and that's something I value in people.
All right, finally, Rey Mysterio.
The GOAT. Man, one of the greatest of all time. And literally somebody that I model outside of like wrestling life after. A lot of times when Ty and I over the past couple of years, we're dealing with wrestling scenarios that sometimes are like difficult or frustrating. I always ask her what Ray would do. WWRD, what would Ray do? And because Ray just deals with everything in a positive mood. He's happy. He never gets pissed. His matches are awesome. Everybody likes him. He's got a family, like a wife and kids, and I don't know. He really did right.
Well, John, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with me. It's been an absolute honor. I cannot thank you enough. And fans, do not miss your opportunity to meet John and see him in action. Make sure you buy a ticket to Universal Championship Wrestling's Memorial Mayhem show taking place this Saturday, May the 25th, in the beautiful town of Greenville, South Carolina. Buying a ticket is very easy. Go to their website at ucwtv.com. Again, that's ucwtv.com. You can also follow Universal Championship Wrestling on social media at UCWTV to find out more about this fantastic independent wrestling company. Again, John, congratulations on a very successful pro wrestling career and movie and film career, and for being part of Universal Championship Wrestling. Again, I cannot thank you enough.
Thanks for having me, bro. Anytime you want the Mayor of Slamtown back, you got my number.
Sounds great, man. Thank you.